Welcome back. You're watching Profit Fundamentals. Just a brief mention of the markets before we get to the macro outlook. You've got the Sensex and the Nifty days high, 1% pickup on the markets. This is starting to look like quite a recovery. Well, a bit of a recovery, at least keeping in mind yesterday and today's session. 200 points up on the Sensex and about a 60-point gain on the Nifty. I just want to mention bond markets because yields there have come off considerably over the last 24 hours. You're down to 781 on the benchmark yield after a close of 783 yesterday, where the inflation data, the softer than expected inflation data, made all the difference. But what inflation was also telling you is the kind of weak demand conditions that are there in the economy. That was reiterated by CRISIL when they brought down their growth forecast for FY14 to 6% from 6.4%. Vidya Mahambare is our principal economist at CRISIL. She's joining me from Mumbai. Very good morning to you. I'm sorry if I've kept you waiting. Let me just first start by asking you for the reasons for this downgrade. I mean, we're a month into the fiscal, wondering what's changed that has required you to bring down your forecast.
Good morning, Ira. The reason we have scaled down our forecast from 6.4% to 6% is broadly because of the following reasons. The pickup in household consumption we expect now to be slower than what we had anticipated earlier, and that's largely because, as we know now, the income growth has come off quite a bit. Means if we see real wages in rural areas, for example, they have nearly stagnated. So the purchasing power is just about constant. So that means the recovery in household consumption will be slower. Also, there is some rigidity, downward rigidity in the lending rates, and the monetary transmission is taking some time from the repo rate cut to lending rates. Second reason why we have cut the forecast is because of the Eurozone. Eurozone economy remains quite important for the global economy as well as for India. For India, Indian exports, around 17-18% of the exports go to Eurozone, and including software exports as well. And last time when we did the forecast, Eurozone economy was expected to contract by 0.1% in 2013, and now it is expected to contract by 0.5%. Means that will have some spillover effects for India as well. So these are the broad reasons why we have revised down our forecast to 6%.
Point that you made is very interesting. Wage growth. What are you basing this expectation on? So in the rural areas, weren't wages growing at about 17-18 odd percent? I mean, I know it's come off from like 20%, but I thought the growth was still there.
That's right. It were growing at 17-18%, but if I remember the recent data, very recent data, it shows around only 10% increase in rural wages. And if that is the nominal wage growth, then taking into account CPI inflation of nearly double digit, that's a considerable slowdown in rural incomes. So that's what I was referring to, and it will have obviously lagged impact on demand, as we can see in inflation data as well, which came yesterday.
Okay, no, that makes sense. So basically what you're saying is that the consumption side could slow down a little bit further, while on the investment side we are, there's no reason to believe that there would be a significant pickup.
That's right. Even our original forecast of 6.4%, we did not expect a significant turnaround in investments in 2013-14. For growth to be sustainable beyond 13-14, obviously we need a sharp pickup in private investment going ahead, which is for next fiscal year. This year what we are saying is, yes, consumption recovery will be modest and will be lower than what we had expected earlier. Nonetheless, if monsoons remain, we have normal monsoons this year, agricultural incomes should pick up in the second half. And compared to last year, we do believe private consumption growth has bottomed out last year at around 4%, 4.1%, and we should see some pickup from that, but perhaps slightly moderate than what we were expecting earlier. But it is very critical, monsoons.
No, go on with you.
Yeah, monsoons will remain very critical for the recovery because there is some sort of asymmetric impact of monsoons on agriculture, we believe, in the sense that during the high growth phase when industry and services are doing very well and there is growth momentum, perhaps a failed monsoon does not have a significant impact on growth. We know it has impact on inflation, but perhaps not a significant impact on growth. But when we are on down cycle, in a very, very low growth phase, and we know the growth has slowed down considerably from 9.3% in 10-11 to just about 5% in 12-13. When industry and services are doing badly, then agriculture incomes become very important. So during a low growth phase such as we are currently, if monsoon fails, Instead of 6%, we believe the growth could fall as low as 5.1%. So we have to wait and watch what happens to agriculture.
No, that's a very important point. Low growth phase. On top of that, you have a bad agriculture, and if wage growth in rural areas is stagnating, then that's a very sort of nerve-wracking sort of situation. Vidya, I want to pick up on the lending rates point as well. And in some policy circles, that's the argument doing the rounds, that even if the RBI cuts rates right now, banks don't seem like they're willing to pass it on. Various reasons being given that deposit growth is weak, etc. Some people are saying that banks actually are not even interested in lending into an economy like this. But that, do you think, has a significant impact? I mean, where does it start to have an impact? Is it that the retail loan demand will start to come down if rates don't fall further? Because on the investment side, we are just saying that there is no demand.
That's right, but I think it's also a cycle. Means from the retail side, definitely retail lending rates come down, which we believe will happen with some lag. If that happens, retail credit demand should pick up. On the investment side, we know there are several other factors other than the lending rate. Lending rate is not the sole factor. We know that issues related to mining and project clearances have some bearing on investment, perhaps most important bearing on investment. So that, along with some decline in interest rates, will definitely help push up investment activity, but perhaps that is few months down the line.
Okay. Vidya, just a last question on some of the other indicators, the numbers. So we have the growth number. What are you expecting in terms of inflation next year? Also fiscal deficit and current account deficit?
On inflation, as far as WPI inflation goes, we believe it will, for 12-13 we had average of 7.3% after what data came out yesterday. We believe from 7.3% will come down to something like 6.3%, 100 basis point reduction in 2013-14. That's largely because of, couple of reasons. One, demand pressures are weak, and that has some lagged impact on inflation. So slower demand will show up in, core inflation, non-food manufacturing inflation, remaining low even in 13-14. That is one reason. Second, as we know, crude prices and, international commodity prices have come off from their peak. They are not expected to go up, in 2013. So that will provide some relief to inflation. And at the same time, non-discretionary food spending, if we see very recent data, protein-related inflation also is beginning to come down because of, lower demand. So these factors will help. Plus, obviously, if you have a normal monsoon, good agriculture output. So these factors will help WPI inflation come down to around 6.3% next year. That's as far as inflation goes. As well as currency goes, we believe it will remain somewhere around, means our forecast is only March end. So that is March 2014. And we believe the currency will remain somewhere closer to its current value, around 54 per US dollar by March 14. And that's because we believe, what is the demand for dollars in India, which is our current account deficit, and supply of dollars, which are the capital inflows, should be able to match that current account deficit. We believe current account deficit will come down somewhere to 4.5% of GDP.
All right, and the falling oil and gold prices certainly help. I'll leave it at that. Thanks so much. Great talking to you. Hope to see you again on the network. That's CRISIL. They've cut their outlook in some very, but today, Biosphere comes up.